I'm going to reply to every single comment here. Well, not me, ChatGPT. So go ahead right now, write a comment. See, he's writing a comment right now on the video, and we're going to reply to it. Well, ChatGPT.
Hello, so I guess if you wrote your comment down there, you'll see how this replies within 5 minutes. Now I'm gonna teach you how to build this. I got some inspiration from this from a YouTube channel called Prompt News that did a video. OpenAI or ChatGPT will reply to your comment in 10 minutes. So I'll link his video. Is really good. He does more of like a plug and play type of solution. So since I've been learning AWS and Python, I really wanted to do a solution that uses AWS, and I build an EC2 instance to put my Python code and everything on. It ended up being quite an involved project. I made a lot of mistakes. This took me a pretty long time to figure out how to do, but now that I know how to do it, I'm gonna show you guys my solution so you can do it much quicker than me. First thing, you'll need a Google developer account, so make one of those. And from that, we're going to use something called YouTube Data v3, and we're going to use the YouTube API key to read all of the comments on a video. And then we're going to use Oauth setup. You have to do Oauth to actually post comment replies. We're going to use the OpenAI API key, of course, to use those comments as prompts to generate AI responses. Then we're going to make all the Python code, sorry about my bad handwriting here, where we're going to check if there's already a comment reply to a comment, then we're not going to reply again. Or to check if OpenAI is down, because occasionally the API is down, not too often, but every once in a while, so we should have some protection there, redundancy, like a try except thing. And then last, once we get all our code finished for Python, we're going to put everything in a while loop, and then we're going to put it all on an AWS EC2 instance. We're going to install our dependencies. All right, let's get into it. So the very first thing we have to do is the Google section of it. All right, so on Google, you can just type this, Google Console Developer, and it should be like the first result. There we go, Google Developer Console. Click that. If you don't have a Google account or this developer console, you can make a new account, and you'll need to click into a project. Now, if this is your first project, you'll need to make a new project. I'm going to make a new project just so you guys can see like what it's going to be like to do this from scratch. All right, so new project, just call it a name. So I'll call this YouTube Tutorial OpenAI. So YouTube Tutorial OpenAI, and just click create. All right, so let's wait for that to finish creating. All right, next thing you want to do is just search YouTube data here in the search bar, and let's see if we find what we're, yes. All right, so this is what you should be looking for, the YouTube Data API v3. So click on that. Oh, whoops, I'm in the wrong project. So let me get into this project that I just made. All right, so yeah, I'm in this brand new project. I'm just where you are, your brand new project, YouTube Tutorial OpenAI, and I've never used this yet. So we're all on the same step. And you just need to, once you find YouTube Data API v3, after searching for it, just click Enable. All right, now that we've enabled it, we need to go to Credentials. The first thing we're going to do is just reading all the comments we have. So we're going to click Create Credentials, and we're going to create an API key. All right, so I'm going to do this in a Jupyter notebook. I have my that YouTube API key we just got commented up here for later. We're going to use it in just a sec. So we'll set this new variable, API key, equal to this, this one. All right, so let's copy and paste that here. Next, we're going to need our video ID. All right, I have this unlisted video I just uploaded for testing here. So if you click on the link here, you'll see this thing here, like v equals, and it'll be a bunch of like letters and numbers. Copy that. That's your video ID. So our video ID is equal to that. This is our endpoint. So we have our video ID, API key that gets passed in here. So next we're going to make a GET request and then we're going to make all of our comments into a dictionary. So we do that with this response equals request.getURL, and then we have our comments equals response.json. So next we're going to need a for loop to go through all the comments. All right, so we're going through all of the comments, and let's print them. All right. All right, wow, so look at this. We have all of these dictionaries printing with all this stuff that we really don't need. Like you can see, we have the video ID. All right, so I just printed one comment just as so you can see this. It's a little easier to see. So we're gonna have to go in here, we're gonna have to go into the snippet, and then we're gonna have to go into text display, and then we get the comment here, which is why is the sky blue? So that is important so you can understand how we're getting our comments. So let's write the code to do that. All right, so this should get our comments. It's quite long, but yeah, this will get our comments. So we go like print comment. So we go into snippet, then we go into top level comment, then we go into snippet again, and then we go into text display, and that gets us right here to why is the sky blue, which is our comment. So if we run this, we'll see all of our comments. So you can see these are all the top level comments on the video. Okay, so next we're going to be doing this Oauth section. So I have this code snippet. I'll have a link in the description to the GitHub to get this code snippet so you can follow along. We're importing all of these things here. We're going to be checking if have a token already. If not, it's going to take us to this Oauth screen where you have to authorize it the first time. And then after you've done it the first time, you'll have this refresh token thing stored in this pickle.token token.pickle file. So next time you run it, you don't have to click manually to authorize it. It'll like automatically run each time. This is like on Google, they have explanation here. I'll also put this in the description of Oauth. So you have your app, the user has a request token, and then they have to go to this consent form I'll show that you'll see in just a sec. After they agree, we get this authorization token, then it exchanges that code for a token, and then a token response, and then it uses the token to call the Google API. So the application should store a refresh token for future use and use the access token to access a Google API. So once the access token expires, the application uses the refresh token to obtain a new one. So we have this refresh token that'll let us basically not having to keep login. So this was really complicated, very hard for me to understand. I spent a long time looking at different tutorials. I still struggle with this a little bit. I'm going to put a link to this video by Corey Schaefer, Python YouTube API tutorial, where he really gets into setting up Oauth for YouTube. It's a really good video. It helped me a lot. So yeah, watch that video if you want to understand more about the code. But for now, let's make this Oauth. So you can go back to our our cloud Google console and click on Oauth client ID under create credentials. So when you click this, since it's our first time doing it, it's going to have this blue button, create consent screen. So click that. Then you'll have this option, just click external and click create. Give it a name. So we'll call it reply comments. Doesn't really matter too much what you call it. And then put your email here. All right, after you finished adding your email and everything, just scroll to the bottom and click create and continue. All right, so next page, you'll have the scopes and stuff. Don't worry about it. Just click save and continue. All right, add users. You should probably just click add users and just put your email in when it asks for an email, and then click save and continue. So I'll click add users and just write your email here. All right, save and continue. You'll have summary and just click back to dashboard. All right, amazing. So we have our OAuth done. Well, I mean the consent part of it. We still need to now that we have that done, we can click create OAuth client ID. For application type, you can just click web application, and then we'll need to have an authorized redirect URI. All right, so for mine, I just put localhost 8080. So that should work as long as you don't have anything else running there. And just click create. All right, now you want to download this JSON file and save this file to the same directory as your code, wherever it's stored. So my code is on my desktop, so put that there. And let's give this a better name. All right, so we saved it as a client secret.json. That's our file. All right, so you can see it's loading it from client secret.json on port 8080, this code snippet. So if we run this code snippet, it should work. Let's double check. Okay, I just needed to add this credentials equals none. Don't worry, the code snippet I'll link in the GitHub. It'll be all good for you to just copy and paste in here. Okie doke. So what that does, it opens this sign-in thing. So it'll have your account here, and you just click it, and it might give you a bit of a warning here. But don't worry, I mean, this is our app, so we know it's not going to screw our account or anything. So just click continue, and then click continue again, that we trust it and we're okay with it to see, edit, permanently delete YouTube videos, ratings, etc. That's exactly what we want it to be able to do. And it says the authentication has completed. And the other thing is, in the same directory, which is on the desktop, you'll notice this token.pickle file. That token.pickle file has the refresh token in it. So next time we run this, we don't have to go through this window, which is perfect. So that way our code we can do this consistently without us sitting there every 5 minutes authenticating it, because that wouldn't work. So you see, if I run it, it just authenticates without that. So we're making really good progress. Let's have this YouTube equals build. All right, so we just had this line, build this object, YouTube v3, and then we pass in our credentials. Now we're going to use pretty much the exact same code we used up here. You can basically just copy what we did earlier from here, and we're gonna just we don't need this anymore. We already imported requests. We're just gonna paste it right down here. All right, so again, we have our API key, our video ID, this URL, this endpoint. We have our get request, and we're making it a dictionary, and now we can go through our comments. Now we're gonna change this though. We don't want to print our comments. All right, so instead of printing it, we're going to store that as a variable. We are going to do request, and don't worry, you'll understand why we're saving our comment here for later. So I'll just put a note here, saving comment, current comment as variable. All right, so right now I am doing the code that's going to find the comment and then reply under that comment. So we need body, and then you put a dictionary here, and you have to do the same again for snippet. This is a little confusing, I know, but it will work. So you have your snippet now with the dictionary. And now, okay, we're going to get into our parent ID. Oh, we forgot a very important line. You have to click, you need to execute it. There we go. So you can see this is a new comment at 1 a.m. This is a new comment at 1 a.m. This is a new comment at 1 a.m. So you can see it's showing up now. Perfect, perfect. Okay, so now we need to add in some logic to make sure that we're not commenting under comments that already have comments. Sorry, that was a bit of a mouthful. So we're not replying to comments that someone already replied to, because then we would just get a crazy amount of comments. Like this would be, eventually we're going to put this in a while loop, and it'll be running every 5 minutes. And you can imagine after like a day or two, you can do the math, there will be a lot of comments. So that's why we're going to need this section I just added here. So let me write logic to check if already replied to. All right. All right, so we have, again, this request here. Don't worry too much about this. Just copy this line. And this is the part that's pretty important. And let's now tab this so it's in this else loop, else statement. All right, so if the length of the response items is greater than 0 for this response that we got from our youtube.comments.list, then that means we already replied to the comment. So we have here that just that comment. And we could actually replace this with a prompt comment to make this a little nicer looking. So just put in prompt comment because we already have that stuff here. Then so then we do nothing. Otherwise, we'll reply to it. All right. So let's test this out. Let me write a new comment here. Hi, this is a new comment at 1:12 a.m. All right, so we'll comment. And let's go back to our code, and let's change the comment to say, wow, great. All right, so that's our new comment. And if we run this, what we want to happen, all right, there we go. So it says already replied to hi, already replied to this, already blah, 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 already replied to all these. But I didn't see it say already replied to hi, this is a new comment at 1:12 a.m. So what I want to happen is all of these comments we don't want to reply to again, but this comment we do want to reply to again. So let's see if that happens. And yes, we got a reply, and you can see we didn't get an additional reply to these comments. So that's great. All right, so if we go back into our paintbrush roadmap for this, we did all of this Google stuff. So that's really the hard part. Now we already checked if there's a comment in our Python. Now we have to do this part, check if OpenAI is down, and then we also need to get the OpenAI API. So let's move on to that. So go to beta.openai. Now once you click view API keys, create a new secret key, copy your secret key, and we'll scroll all the way to the top. And first thing we need to do is import OpenAI here. Next, you need to do OpenAI.API key equals, and then paste in your API key. All right, now let's scroll all the way down to where we have this prompt comment. And right above here, we are going to, yes, we'll go to the else statement right here. And we're going to paste in this chatbot equals OpenAI.completion. And now we're going to do our AI response. So you'll have to do chatbot.create and then engine equals, and you can pick your engine. If you want to use a more powerful one, you can use Text DaVinci 3. I chose to use Text Babage 001 because I don't know how many comments this video will get. If it gets a lot, it will definitely be a lot more expensive to use Text DaVinci 3. So this is a pretty cheap option for me. So go ahead, comment all you want. Prompt comment. So this is going to be our prompt here. Now, this is just our comment. Let's add on to this, reply to this comment as a tech YouTuber. All right, and then our max tokens I'm setting to 1,000. So that's roughly 750 words. We'll have a new variable, we'll call it final reply. All right, so this will be final reply. It's equal to AI response.choices 0.text. And also, I noticed that there's a lot of white spaces around the responses the AI gives, so we'll put a dot strip here. So I'm going to now put this inside of a try block. All right, and then we'll put an accept here. And for accept, we'll have it say final reply equals API is currently down. All right, so generally the API is pretty reliable. You can see 99.4% uptime, but just in case if it goes down, we will then have this try block, so that way we don't get an error in our code and it stops running. So the next thing we got to do is for this text original, where we have our comment, instead of having that, we just have our final reply here. All right, very, very good. Let's give this a test. Who are your top 3 favorite scientists? So we'll write comment and let's run this. All right, no errors. So it's still running. It seems like it finished running. So already replied to all of these. And let's see. All right, so we got 2 new replies. And here we go. That's great. This makes sense. And this is also a good answer. And I feel like these are like kind of like in the voice of a tech YouTuber. I mean, more or less. Like if someone asks what's the best programming language to learn in 2023, I would also probably say there's no definitive answer. It definitely depends on what you want to achieve, and definitely Python, Java, and JavaScript are very popular options. Personally, I'm learning Python a lot, but these are also 2 great languages to learn in 2023 as well. So this is really good. We're making really good progress right now. All right, so we really just have one more thing to do. So we're going to import time, and we're going to go down here and put all of this stuff, everything below this OpenAI API key in a infinite while loop. So we'll just put while 1, and we're going to get all of this stuff in there. And because we don't want it to be running like continuously, we want to have a 5-minute break between each run. So we're going to have a time.sleep 300. All right, so next thing you're gonna wanna do is go to your GitHub and make a new repository. And we are going to call this code for AWS. All right, you want to make it public, and we'll just create repository. All right, we're going to need to create a couple of files. So let's click create new file, and we're going to name our file requirements.txt. So here we're just going to have to put in all of those packages, dependencies that we used in our codes that aren't like pre-built into Python. All right, so this will be our requirements.txt file. So just like this, and just click commit new file. We'll need to now create another new file, and we'll call this file my script.py. And for this, we're going to take all of this stuff we just did in a Jupyter Notebook and just select it all. Command A, copy, and paste it in here. And commit new file. We don't want to be opening a localhost, so we want this token.pickle in there. So we'll click add file, upload files, and choose your file, and we want, here we go, token.pickle. So upload that token.pickle, commit changes, and now we have all of our files here. So now go to your AWS account. All right, once you're in your AWS account, search EC2, click launch instance, give it a name, we'll call it YouTube Python tutorial. And I'm gonna use this one, AWS Linux T2 Micro. For key pair, if you want to, you can proceed without a key pair. It says not recommended. Then you can't really SSH into it. So if you want to SSH into it, you can create a new key pair. So my key pair, and you click create key pair, and it will give you this download file, your downloads that you'll need for this. Anyway, so let's just launch this instance. All right, so then we want to click on connect, and you can do this SSH client, but what I find so much easier is you go to EC2 instance connect and just click connect. All right, great. So we are connected to our terminal thing here. So we'll need to type a few commands here. So first do this sudo su. So now we're doing this as a root user. And the next thing we got to do is yum update. All right, and we are going to press Y, yes, and we update everything. All right, very good. So now we'll do yum install git. Yes. All right, so now write git clone, and we need to get our URL from our GitHub repo. So let me go back to Safari because I was logged into GitHub. All right, so code, and then just copy your URL, and then go back here, and then right click and paste. All right, now you can just run this, and let's click ls. And you can see, here we go, we have our directory. So let's cd into that. So we'll cd into code for AWS, and let's see what we have here. All right, good. So we have our script, our requirements.txt, and then our token. So we're going to need to install this for Python but we need to make sure it's installed for Python 3. So you see, we can see that we have Python 3. We have 3.7, so good. So we'll need to do this requirement. So do this, Python 3 space -m pip install -r requirements .txt. Okay, so it's installing them. All right, so I think we installed everything successfully. Very good. Now let us run this. So we're going to use something called no-hop. No-hop means it's going to run in the background. So even after we close this, it's still going to be running. So we'll do no-hop Python 3, and we had my script.py, then put. So, all right, let me test this. I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, so I have my code running, and it seems like it's working. Yeah, so it's working. If you get stuck, I'm gonna post all of the code on GitHub, so you'll have it. So you can always copy and paste that and just change your API keys and stuff. This should be working. Thanks so much for watching, and congrats on finishing this project.